Okay. Good. Okay. There are animals out there that need our help, and we'd all like to think that they get the care that they need. Whether you own a pet or not, I think most people would agree that we'd like pets to be treated with care and compassion. My name is Connor Stegman. I'm a Speech 1300 student at Euler, and I did 4 hours of service learning experience at Boyd's Veterinary Clinic. Today, I'm going to tell you about my experience at the clinic. First, I'll tell you what I did while I was there. Then I'll relate a few communication concepts and principles. And finally, I will tell you how my experience relates to some ethical and civil implications of communication. So let me tell you what happened. I completed my service experience at Boyd's Veterinary Clinic in Jacksonville. When we drop animals off at the vet or at a animal hospital or something, we would hope that they're treated well, but we never really know. The mission of my organization, according to BoydVetClinic.com, emphasizes a few ideas. They emphasize providing top-notch medical care for the animals they treat, offering a comfortable and welcoming environment for those animals, and treating animals without owners, which was a big deal for me. I primarily worked with Heather. She was a kennel maintainer, and we spent a lot of time in this big room where they kept all the animals, especially the dogs that were going to stay overnight. We cleaned each kennel one by one, and then brought them all outside so they could play. And we gave them fresh food and water and changed out their bedding every single day, so it was always a really nice environment for them. During my time there, I met a dog that they had found wandering near the freeway. He was badly malnourished and injured when they found him, and they actually brought him in and treated him, and he's in great health now, and they never expected to get any money from it, and I thought that was great. So now I'm going to tell you about a few communication concepts and principles that are connected to my service learning. There are two communication concepts and a communication principle. If you've ever owned pets, you probably know that they're all sort of unique, and you have to treat them differently depending on their personalities. The first communication concept is respect. The definition of respect, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, 2015, is acknowledging others by listening well and validating their points of view. And that sounds a little weird to think about that with animals, but we'll kind of get to that. So an example from my service learning experience for respect is how they treated the animals. The staff watched for the nonverbal communication of the animals, and they saw that all the animals had different wants and desires and needs, and they respected those needs. The second concept I chose was ethics. The definition, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, 2015, is a system of standards that defines what behaviors are good or right. An example from my experience that illustrates it is the clinic's willingness to take in animals that don't have owners so they wouldn't be paid. And the way that illustrates it is that they're taking the animals in and they're treating them without pay because they just feel that that's the right thing to do. It's the ethical thing to do. The relevant communication principle that I chose was communication process is complex. The communication process, it's multifaceted and occurs in multiple different ways. An example of this principle from my service learning, there you go, is that every animal is dealt with differently. The staff learns each animal's unique traits and the different ways that they communicate with those animals. The first civil and ethical implication of communications that I chose was concern for community. The explanation from the ULR course manual is committing to practice of daily actions, interactions, and performance of engaged citizens that promote a co-created community experience. An example of this implication from my service learning was their willingness to treat all the animals that they brought in the best way that they could for their community. And the community understood that if they're bringing their pets to this place, then they're going to be in good hands. The second civil and ethical implication I chose was trustworthiness. The explanation from the ULR course manual was the degree at which accuracy of our ideas and shared information can be used by others to make decisions. So basically how much you can trust the information that you're getting. And the example that I used for this implication from my experience at Boyd's was the way that he created a level of trust between himself and the owners of the pets. His professionalism and constant communication with the pet owners about what was going on and how things were going created an environment of trust between them. So in conclusion, I told you about my service learning experience at Boyd's Veterinary Clinic. I described what I did while I was there and what I experienced, and explained a few communication concepts and principles, and then connected a few civil and ethical implications. To see the care and compassion for animals that were treated at this clinic was great for me. And it's very clear that at this clinic, the animals are truly cared for like they deserve to be.
Thank you.